Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you guys are watching this video. So I just want you to know I miss your smiling faces as always, and I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, and I hope everybody's keeping their fingers crossed that this is slowly coming to an end. But just guys, make sure when they start releasing people to go out into the public, still make sure that you protect yourselves and your family. Still make sure that you're being diligent on your hand washing, hand sanitizer, and that type of thing, and being real careful out there. Okay, we're all ready to get out there, but we don't want to get ourselves sick, get our family sick, or spread it to other more immune compromised people out there. So remember, watch these videos in order because we're going through our lab binder. Get your lab binder out. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to fill out the requisition forms with your lab partner's information. Don't do any of that. Don't worry about it. But what I do want you to do is get that white lab binder out. I want you to turn to the section that's worksheets 19A, okay, and look at it and go through it with me as we're doing this video, okay? Go through it. Say to yourself, I'd write purple top in here. I'd write capillary. I'd write my lab partner's information. I'd put a check there because that's the sticker that would go on my specimen, and I'd put an X there because that's my sticker that would go on my patient log. Go through this stuff step by step. Ask these questions to yourself. Stop this video. See if you know the answer, that you're putting all this stuff together. Now, the reason I don't want you to write in anything is because some of these things we may be able to do in person, in the lab, sometime this summer before you go on your clinical rotation, if you are one of the chosen 15 that go to clinicals in the fall. So again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure you reach out to me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're registering students. We started on Thursday the 16th, or really Wednesday the 15th, we started registering students. So if you have, if you know anyone, friends, relatives, co-workers, anybody that is unaware, fall registration has opened. They can go online to register. There's a place for them to contact people for help. If they're needing to register and they're running into problems, you're always welcome to send them to me and I'll help them get where they need to be. Okay, because I don't want all these classes to fill up and they're not able to get in there. Now, as far as your Allied Health 211 class, which is your clinical class, you guys do not sign up for that. I repeat, you guys do not register for that yourself. You can't. Once all the summer classes are over and everybody's grades are in, then I will do your qualifying courses, calculate everybody's GPA, and the 15 people from the entire cohort with the highest GPA in those qualifying classes will be the 15 chosen to go to clinicals in the fall. And you will be notified of that, okay, whether you're chosen. And if you are chosen, you just follow the directions, read the email carefully. But we will meet. Hopefully we're still going to meet, and you guys knew about this before we ever left. We were supposed to have a luncheon, and you would have filled out your VA paperwork at that luncheon, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that because of COVID-19. And you were supposed to have a meeting on May the 11th, which is a Monday. It was going to be around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you were going to have some more paperwork you were going to fill out, and it was a meeting about the clinical rotations. We still are having that meeting. Stay tuned for an email. We'll give you plenty of time. The only thing that may change with that meeting is it may be longer. In other words, it may start at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning versus 1, because we missed the availability to fill out our VA paperwork, and it's rather lengthy to go through that process, so we may need some more time, which means we may start early, but we may get out earlier, just depending on how long it takes to get through all the paperwork. But stay posted for that. But you guys knew we were doing that meeting on that Monday, May the 11th, so we will stick to that. So again, you don't have to fill these requisition forms out like we did when we were in lab. As a matter of fact, don't do that because you may get the opportunity to do that sometime in the summer on certain tests. But go through it, look at it, go through it, answers the questions, know what you're doing, okay? As you know, on the requisition in the real world out there, the patient's information would already be on here, and you would use that to do the most important job you have, which is to properly ID your patient. So we're doing a pregnancy test, a RF, and a drug screen, okay? So you want to know what tubes you would draw those in. You want to know what your specimen source would be. Okay, you would want to know what lab these are going to, right? So make sure you find that out. So we see here that all three of these tests are drawn in a red tube, red top tube. So do any of these tubes require any special handling? Okay, make sure you're looking through your Appendix A on all these tests and make sure you can answer these questions. So I'm going to go through this stuff really fast. I'm not going to answer all this stuff for you on the total bilirubin, on the keratin, on the vitamin D, but y'all know these are on tests. It's on a test asking you, what's the special handling? What tube is it drawn in? And all that is located in Appendix A in your white lab binder. Also, make sure you're reading chapters 9 and 10, and you're reading it, and you're studying it, and you're filling out your study guides, and you're studying your study guides, okay? So this would have been 19B when we did a venipuncture with a winged infusion set. And, you know, anytime you stick a needle in each other in lab, I'm always right there. And we would have did a syringe or a holder, and I would have let you choose. And this is something that we may end up doing in lab in the summer, if we are really lucky, because not that you guys still couldn't get through this without this, but you want to have as much hands-on training as you can have before you go out onto your clinicals. So we'd be collecting blood from the dorsal hand, okay? And as always, the patient information would already be on our filled out and on our thing, okay? As again, the doctor ordered that total bilirubin and keratin and vitamin D. Our specimen source, even though it's on the dorsal hand, would be venous, right? We can either be drawing venous blood, capillary blood, and occasionally arterial blood. So this goes to chemistry, okay? All right, and then, so pick the best tubes, and then we're gonna, if we were in lab, we would have did a little show and tell, and you could have shown it to me, okay? So total bilirubin can either be green, red, or SST. Keratin is red. Vitamin D is either red or SST, and all must be shielded from light, okay? So should you use a syringe or a holder? If you have a large tube or a small vein, use the syringe. Okay, so make sure you understand what tubes go into what test can be drawn in what tube, okay? Because, and what special handling, all of these, and the guy that's in section A, everybody, we went over this from day one in lab, how important that A is to you, and how making sure you study it, so you will understand the special handling, what tubes it can be drawn in. Because as we see right here, if we were going to draw just one tube, what tube would we draw? The red top tube, right? Because total bilirubin can be drawn in red, keratin can be drawn in red, and vitamin D can be drawn in red. So if we wanted to draw the least amount of tubes, we would draw one red top tube, right? And that would depend. There's lots of things out there that play into this. You know, is any one of these ordered stat? Do we have to send it off to the reference lab? There's lots of questions that you will have, and based on the answers to those questions, you might have to draw a green and a red, or you might have to draw a SST and a red. But there's lots of things out there that would play into this, okay? So this is what we would do if we were actually in lab. And remember, TATs is turnaround times, right? And you always want to worry about turnaround times. Remember, I told you, when we're in there, you've got to do everything that needs to be done. You can't skimp on stuff. You can't skip on introducing yourself or IDing your patient properly with all the proper steps, making sure that you do everything the right way, but you also need to learn how to do it as quickly as humanly possible, because turnaround times matter. Okay, and when we finish these labs up, we would always dispose of all of our waste properly. We have to think before we toss, right? Put our tray and other supplies away. We would always make sure that we clean our area, clean the bottom of our tray. And I always wanted you to take that lab coat, fold it up, put it in a plastic bag, and then put it inside your red backpack. And I know now that you know all the things that's going on with COVID-19. You see why I kept going over that with y'all. Do not put that lab coat just down in there around everything else, because germs and bacteria, viruses, body fluids get on that lab coat. They could get on all your other stuff, and then you could pass that stuff on to your children. And I know y'all are now sitting there going, do I know why she kept saying this to me over and over again? And then lastly, very last, because you're touching all this stuff, chemicals like Clorox and stuff that could or could not have viruses and bacteria and blood and body fluids on it, then you remove your gloves last. The proper way that I showed you how to remove them, because if you remove those gloves in the proper way, then you can toss them in the regular trash. Guys, we're just going through this stuff. They're going to be quick videos, that just just are taking you through some things, reminding you of some things, going over stuff. Please, please, please make sure you're reading chapters 9 and 10, filling out your study guides, and you're studying those study guides, okay? Because this stuff, we're getting down to the end. It's going to be moving quickly. Stay on top of your due dates and what's going on. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure you reach out to me, okay? Because I want to help everybody, okay? I miss you guys. Y'all stay safe. Take care of each other. Take care of your families. And I'll see you soon. Make sure you watch these videos in order. They're going to be quick. And we're just going to go through. These are just things to make you go through the process, okay? You guys have a great day.